morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you might be in the world. I hope that life is being very kind to you. Newbies, new visitors, returning visitors, thank you very much for being part of my journey. I'm much improved today health-wise over the last week. Still got some of that niggling stuff happening, but either way, I have felt a lot better and I've been a lot more productive. If you're new to the channel, you won't know that I actually have timing chapters in the description, and that's just to make things easier for you to access what it is that you're looking for. This particular week, we're not going to be talking a lot about some of the reflections and observations, and that's simply because I don't think I've really had time to reflect and make observations. I have family over at the moment, so I'm more on a limited time scale today, but I do have some information to give you that hopefully will be of interest to you, but it's more around crystal information today, because I've had a lot of arrivals and I've been doing a lot of purchasing recently. So I'm quite happy to share those experiences with you. In the meantime, I almost forgot. Thank you for being part of my journey. Thank you for joining me today. Hope life is being very kind to you. Over here, we have got grim, wintry days. We are right in the heart of it. You may hear rain, you may hear thunder, you may hear lightning. You may even hear my dog cry. But anyway, moving on. So bearing in mind I am an absolutely dreadful photographer, I thought I would share this with you because for some reason it's on my phone and every time I look at it and I crack up laughing. Now, the backstory with this is this cat has moved into my house a couple of years ago now and has adopted me. I am officially the cat's responsibility. However, this is a transactional deal. The cat requires feeding on a regular basis, and when I am a little bit late, it's not a happy camper, okay? So I'm pretty sure if you're a cat owner and you know much about cats, you will know that that is not a look of love that I am receiving. I was sitting down out the front and talking to the cat and saying, look, just give me 5 minutes, I'll get you your dinner in a minute, okay? But the only time this cat comes out, makes its presence known for the best of time really, is actually around about dinner time. So there we are. This is the cat. This is the Moggy. This is the Moggy that got me in trouble with the Shire because apparently I feed a stray animal and you're not allowed to. They wanted me to register, and now I've gone off on a tangent. They wanted me to register her. Problem being that if people are complaining about her, I actually don't want to be getting into trouble for her. And she is a very strong, very big stray, and she is one heck of a scrapper and fighter. She is her own woman. I admire and respect her. Plus, she actually has been spayed. So, every now and again I'll worm her and that kind of stuff. But that's just my funny little picture, all right? Before we get into the channel update though, just a reminder, we've got the local community gathering happening on Wednesday next week. Now, I am really preparing for it. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do in between times, which includes things like the info cards on crystals. So I'm making progress on that. It's kind of like an all-day affair though, because I want to do labels. Oh, it's a little bit complex. Just to make it look pretty, I'm preparing for it. So just reminding you guys, it is going to be on. If there is any particular crystal that you want me to take along, because I can't take all of them, it just is too big and bulky and heavy, then just send me a message. You can either make a comment under the description, or send me a message through the contact form on the website, because even though I'm upgrading the website, you can still reach me through it. There's no problems with that. The other thing is too, just a reminder, I do put on tea and coffee. It's free entry. If you want to make a donation for tea and coffee, that would be very much appreciated. But either way, I'm hoping we're going to have a great night. I'll put a link down below. I'll double check if I remember on how to book the tickets. Otherwise, same thing. If you want me to hold a ticket, send me your details through the contact form on my website, okay? I've got lots of crystals this week. So as far as the website development goes and giving you all the progress report, yes, I've still got that big sign on the front saying website under development, changes, that kind of thing. That remains current. I have been working on it though, which is good news for you and me. It took me a little bit to get my head around it and to get organised again, but I'm back on board. I haven't done a lot with it, but I have made some progress, but I haven't actually published the changes yet. For you to be able to see the changes, I've got to press the publish. So you will see that probably by next Sunday. And And with a bit of luck, I will have at least completed all that you see on this slide here, and hopefully a bit more if I can really get in and attack it. I do have some few things to do though. Of course, as I said, I've got family here at the moment, but hopefully towards the later part of the week I'll be right back on track and smashing through, energized and getting through what I need to. So in regard to the crystal magic and the playlist there, I have got some really beautiful crystals come in. I'm going to talk about some of them, but obviously not all of them, because I've been trying to add to the collection in a way that I have some variety. And one thing I will mention, because I don't think I've put it up anywhere else on the slide, is I actually ordered what I believe to be rainbow moonstone, if I can speak, at a very good price. I thought, oh, that's cheap as chips when I ordered it. Now, as far as I'm concerned, my supplier is actually really helpful. She goes out on a limb. She's completely authentic. She's not a person to try and rip people off. But anyway, my rainbow, and I'm doing quotation marks here, the air ones, my rainbow moonstone arrived, and it was very disappointing for moonstone, but it was very, very good and attractive, and I was quite happy with the fact, because I've been trying to get it. It was actually opalite. I don't know if I've done a video on opalite. It is a synthetic crystal, as in it's man-made, but I think I did do a story on it. One of the reasons why I want that as part of my collection is I also have worked in the psychiatric field, and for some reason people that are extremely mentally well seem to respond very well, very unwell, psychiatrically very unwell people responding very well to opalite, which is why I want it in my collection. But anyway, look, suffice to say, the poor lady, she'd just made a mistake and mislabeled it. And when I drew it to her attention, of course, she rushed in and she changed it all on a website, and then went back and got me some moonstone, which actually was, of course, a lot more expensive, but I still wanted it anyway. I'm now going to show you once again, remember, reminder before we get in there, advance warning, I am a dreadful photographer. I'm going to show you some of the items that I've collected over the last week that have arrived, maybe the last couple of weeks, but I've photographed them this time. But I'll show you some of the stuff I have to give you a bit of an idea, and I'll give you an update on the channel videos that I've been loading. So the image on the left, this is part of my product. I've got some really good, beautiful little blue aventurine points, and they're at a very good price as well. I've been able to get them at a good price. If I can get stuff at a good price, I pass those savings along to the people that want to buy product from me. For those people that like the ruby moonstone that I was talking about, I actually managed to get it in some towers here. The other stuff that I'm getting is actually tumbled. That hasn't arrived yet. In fact, I don't even think it's been dispatched yet, but it won't be far away. But as far as these points go, they're actually really quite cute and small and tiny. And what I found when I was actually photographing them, in fact, filming them was the first thing, was I actually went back to the supplier and I said afterwards, because I always give them honest feedback. That's the thing. I will turn around. So with this particular product that I've got, I sent back to him and I said, I said, look, that's lovely, but it doesn't have a lot of the rainbows in it. It seems to be missing a lot of that iridescence. And I said, anyway, he came back and he said, yeah, that is a problem, but was one of the reasons it was priced down. But all of them do have rainbow in them, just so you know. And it was only when I was photographing them that I thought perhaps I'd been a little bit harsh in my feedback, because they actually have a lot more blue than what I'd given credit, because I had the light coming in from different angles, and you need that to be able to see all these flashes, if you like. And so they're actually a lot better than what I thought they were initially, but you do have to really look at them to find that flash. Which is quite interesting. On the right hand side, of course, we've got some blue apatite, and that's not a bad batch. Did I say that I had originally said that the rainbow moonstone, I would have called it grade 3, but I think now, probably upon rethink, maybe a grade 2.5. I don't want to get too carried away with it. But anyway, this is some of the product I've got come in. Now, in this image, or on this slide rather, the image that is on the left, that is chrysanthemum flower. I was stunned to be able to pick this stuff up. Of course, when you're talking about rocks like chrysanthemum flowers, the bottom line is that, I'm showing you pretty much the best flowers, shall we say. They're not all like that. Some of them just have a little bit of the white, and this is the problem when we actually get carved crystals. And although I'm actually really quite happy with those, with these chrysanthemum points, I actually realised I think in future I might try and buy them as palms, because that way we might actually get a better look at the flowers. Now, the lack of photography expertise really comes in with this middle image, which is actually black flower agate, right? And the actual hearts, the carvings, they are black. They're not blue, they're not grey, they're beautiful, beautiful black. Some of them have the most amazing flowers on them. They've got white, and some are even a little bit pinkish. And just to be clear about this, one of the reasons why I put it on this page is so that you can see that the forms of the flowers are completely different to the black chrysanthemum flower. Well, not black, just chrysanthemum flower agate. Is it agate? I can't remember now, but either way, they can't be mistaken. They're not the same crystal. To the right, we have green aventurine. Now, I managed to get that at a pretty good price as well. Green aventurine can be quite pricey, but I was given a little bit of a discount on that, and this is because I was a bit canny, actually. I saw that they had the little fractures through them. Now, quite often fractures will be a deterrent to somebody that is buying like this. For me, I actually don't mind them having the fractures, because to me that's part of their natural beauty. Who was it? I think it was Bell Hooks made a quote about perfect imperfection. I am a perfect imperfection. Well, when I see crystals that have these natural flaws and cracks, and you can tell that they're natural because there's a little bit of dirt in them, so it's occurred organically, shall we say. To me, that is a perfect imperfection. It's a lovely blessing from the universe, and so I'm quite happy to have them, but not everybody does. And if I can get them with these flaws at a cheaper price, then all the better for those of us that like perfect imperfections. So as far as channel updates go and the video content, yes, I did manage to get moss agate out in time. So you can go and check that one out now. It's been published. I've got a photo because I did manage to get, I got obviously that really stunning moss agate. I showed you the large points, I think, on last week's video. If not, remind me and I'll load it again, because it's got a lot of really beautiful druzy in it. This is, in fact, they're not large points, they're towers. I'll show you the points that I got. So these are the points. Now, I just want to point out that the green in here, I haven't color enhanced these photographs, okay? So what is happening with this is obviously my photography and lack of understanding and basically incompetence. I'm not able to actually bring the color green through of the moss agate true to form, because it's not an olive green. They don't look a bit murky. They actually have the shades of the darker and the lighter green with them, so they're all very pretty as well. But what I've tried to show you here is a selection where they're cut into towers, but some of them have got the druzy, which is that beautiful white sparkly glittery tiny little crystals that are inside, and you can see that not very well, but on the right hand side of the image, second from the back, that's one that's got like little druzy caves in it. I also like the fact, for me, as I said, perfect imperfections, those little brown pieces that you see in there, that's the natural dirt or staining going into the crystal as it forms. So for me, that creates a stronger and better connection to Mother Earth. That's, like I say, different strokes for different folks, but I like to see crystals with that earthy type connection. The other one that you will have seen go up this week is ruby zoisite. Now, that one was a fascinating case of really actually having to go on an investigative exercise to ensure that I was naming it correctly, because it was sold to me as epidote, and it, as you can see, absolutely is not epidote. Not in the wildest of dreams. I knew it when I was buying it, that even though it was being marketed as Epidote. I knew that wasn't what I was buying, but I could not be sure until I saw it in my hand and had close-ups to actually establish what it was. But anyway, I've put that video up. It is most definitely ruby and zoisite, okay? And if you want to know how I've reached that conclusion, yes, you can go and watch that video, okay? I also, and I'm not showing you the towers that I've got for this, but I've got the money agate. It's arrived. Now, this actually proved to be another investigative activity for me to make sure that I was naming it correctly, and it's actually Chinese money agate, okay? And in this video, I actually talk about how I reached that conclusion, because I was seeing it marketed by so many different names, and you just knew, even though I'm not a geo, you just knew they were misnaming it and there was something wrong, because there were people calling this bloodstone. This is the first thing. And it was like, no, it's definitely not bloodstone, you know? So I did a bit more homework and I found out, yes, it is money agate. Went back to my supplier, asked them for some advice around it, because I said, look, you know, I can tell it's not bloodstone in anybody's wildest dreams. Anyway, long story short, we established that it sat between, actually, I'll leave that story, just watch the video. But basically, I've got some beautiful points of this, and I so like them. And some of them are so good, I'm not sure I actually want to part with them, to be honest. It's absolutely lovely. And it's got some lovely attributes as well. Next week, I will load the video on Snowflake Obsidian as well. That's partly because I've actually got some that has arrived this week as well, but I've got it in tumbled form. I haven't bought any spheres or anything like that yet, but that will be on the radar to do that. So yeah, Snowflake Obsidian will be loaded and published next week. So my friends, that is it for this week. Very short one. Yay, we all go party party. I try to aim for the short ones, but obviously I rarely ever do. But in the meantime, I'm going to say, look, thank you very much for being part of my journey. I'm going to love you, leave you. Hope you've got a blessed day. Hope everything's going wonderful for you. Please feel free to leave a comment about product or your buying experiences, or if there's a particular product that you're drawn to. And by that, I'm talking about crystals. You know, I might actually be able to source all sorts of things, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to leave it not just as crystal product, just if there's any types of products that you are interested in, let me know, and then I'll see what I can find for you. But for now, I'm just going to say love you, leave you, take care of yourselves. I'm going to trot off and spend some time with my family. Bye-bye for now.